I love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the...
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Kamen Riders. We're here to talk about Kamen Rider Geats episode 44. I'm your host, Josh Meek, the Uber Geek, joined, as always, by my good friend, Toby Tobes. How's it going, Toby?
Josh, it's going fantastic. This is the first Monday in like 2 months where it's not pouring and shitty outside. So
That's wonderful.
This is some real nature magic for tonight's recordings of things.
Yeah, it has not been something kind to us as far as thunderstorms and power outages and stuff like that go. I guess we've worked around it. It's been okay. We've survived, but was it just last week where I was like texting you like, this is maybe not going to work out. Our power's out.
Yeah, I think that was last, because it's almost always my problem. And then my shit actually drops out, and then we have to wait like 5 minutes to get back together. And then last week you said, yeah, we're getting ready to possibly hunker down in the basement, I think. Or you had to do it the other day. But you said, we have no power, I don't know what to do.
Yeah, we did the other day, and that one was like I was just sitting in the dark in my living room about, I don't know, maybe an hour before we were set to record. And I'm looking at like our power company's website on my phone to see if like they have an estimate of when this is coming back. Like, I don't know. And it just still says like 2,000 people without power, like estimation unknown. I'm like, this is not looking good. And then lo and behold, it came on like 45 minutes before we were going to record. So it all worked out. But
it's funny to me where I know it was obviously a thing, but I don't remember what it's like to try to find things to do with no power. Because everything's so tied to the internet or the computer being on, or at least watching TV or having internet on your phone or all the things. Like in the old days, when I was a kid, I guess I read books or played with action figures, but I feel like it's not really a thing anymore.
Well, it's exactly. It's so much worse than it was when you were a kid too. Because when you were a kid, like you might have had like, I don't know, a Game Boy or something that had batteries that you could have played. And like you still might, but like, chances are, even if it's like a game on your phone or something, it has to connect to the internet to be able to play. Like maybe you can use your data for that, but like you're not gonna do anything like that. Like here, even if you have like people might have like, I don't know, a generator or something, but like if you're out of internet, you don't have anything like fun to do. Like everything is so tied to internet and to power. Yeah, so like the only thing like in extended power outages that I can ever come up with doing is like grabbing a book and grabbing a book light to read it. It's like I usually keep a book light charged in general, but no, it's awful. Like you realize it's not even so like power outages of course are huge, but like even the internet being down, you realize like how tied you are to the internet for all of your entertainment. Like
exactly.
I don't even have like I don't even have rabbit ear antennas anymore for like TV. Like if I wanted to like just watch some straight up like over the air television, no way to do that. It's all internet based. I'm all I'm the most on the grid person.
I'm fine with all the things solely like if there's no power, it's fine. But it's basically like any of my rechargeable devices, once they start hitting the questionable level of like, well, you can either turn this off now and save some juice just in case, or I can just burn it all now quick. That's when I start getting very upset. The internal dread starts setting in, and I get concerned about what am I going to do with my free time.
I'm such a connected goblin that I keep 2 power banks charged at all times, and I kind of like rotate through them. So like I have one in my bag all the time, and the other one usually like lives on my desk here somewhere. And like always make sure they're topped off at 100. I'll always make sure they're ready to go. So like power goes out. My phone was like pretty low because my phone battery is also like pretty bad nowadays, which is the point of these battery banks. But when our power went out that last Monday, my phone was at like 15%, and I was just about ready to plug it into the wall anyway. So it was like I felt very happy at that point of like, hey, I'm such a crazy person about these battery banks all the time. It's paying off now. I get to just plug my phone in. I get to, happily continue on using my phone and not worry about it. It's great.
Living the high life.
I really was. I really, truly was.
Well, the best is when you're doing too many things and you're killing the battery faster then your little brick can charge it back up. That always feels good. Where it's maybe a little bit too intense, a little bit too much going on.
I used to have the problem, and then I bought better bricks. now my bricks do like the fast charging or whatever. They're all like the crazy good. Charges my phone up like in super crazy amount of time. Like Marvel Snap is probably the most intensive thing I'm going to do on my phone, and yeah, that doesn't even hinder it. It can charge right through. That's the bench line apparently for me.
That's a good one. That's definitely a good one. As long as you can keep working, you're safe.
As long as I can keep like working by playing games, for sure.
Yeah, that's exactly what I meant. I didn't mean like work.
The second the power flashes here, even if it comes back on, I'm like, well, I gotta quit working at least for a couple hours. It's just I gotta take a mental health day. I do always feel a little weird if the power goes out like during the day at work, because I work from home. Power goes out, you're like messaging people on your phone on like Teams or whatever, be like, oh, power's out, not gonna be working for a little bit, and then you're like, technically I can like tether to my phone, and you make a hotspot. It's like, I'm not gonna do that, come on.
Anything that work's not paying for, I'm not gonna do extra to get back to work.
Exactly.
So if they were paying my cell phone bill and they were like, well, we're paying your bill, you can use the hotspot that's on to work, then I would do it. And I've been in other jobs, I've been forced to do it that way. But at this point, if they're doing nothing to help me, I'm not going out of my way. I'll take the free time off and wander around the house and do nothing.
That's what it is. Yeah, wander around the house and flip on light switches, and then realize that you're an idiot and so they don't work. Yeah, yeah. No, that's my vibe as well. Joey, I was telling you about my old man aches and pains before we started the
you
show
were.
here.
You're doing great. You're
I
thriving in your older age here.
I truly am. It's one of those, I don't know what happened, but I woke up and I was in excruciating pain. It's like my shoulder area. I think I pinched a nerve or something. It's one of those things where like you can't figure out a position that makes it hurt less, and everywhere you move, it just hurts more and more as you go. So that's really exciting. And I also have a pain in my side that hurts every time I breathe in. So it's just I think near death is what I would call this.
There's times I have those where I worry that I like either broke a rib or like ripped a muscle in my stomach. And then once I start stretching it out and it still hurts and I really think about it, I'm like, moron, you probably just slept in bed, stupid. I don't think it's really like you threw something out from your exhausting day of lifting up your cell phone or possibly like drinking out of a bottle.
That was what I joked earlier. I was like, I would be worried that I was hurt more if it wasn't for my sheer amount of inactivity that I devoted to this. But yeah, here we are. So hopefully I can soldier through. And
Josh is gonna power through for all these fine people. We didn't make it 44 episodes for no reason. What would Kwa do, Josh? He wouldn't quit.
44 episodes into the best damn tokusatsu podcast that this planet Earth has ever seen, Toby.
Yeah. And sure, people don't see a lot of it, but yeah, they've seen it.
If you are liking what we've been doing so far, maybe check out our Patreon. You can find links to that in the description down below. We do all kinds of bonus content every single week. Right now, we are watching Kamen Rider Geats, which is super fun in our watch and react series. So we throw some popcorn on. We watch the show together. We laugh. We joke over top of it. It's very Mystery Science Theater-esque. If that sounds fun to you, join the Patreon. You can check that out. You can also join our Discord community, and we've got a good group of people over there.
They're all nightmare people, Josh. I know they can all hear this, so I'm going to take this opportunity, as always.
Go ahead and air it out.
To punch down on the Discord and say they're all nightmare people.
Good. I'm glad. Yeah, we have a very antagonistic relationship going on with the people who give us money to be in our Discord. And, rightly so, I think. We have a lot of things that we should be held to the fire on, and a lot of things we're wrong about, and they like to let us know. But they also provide us with some very, very awesome content. And that content, Toby, comes in the form of emails.
Wow. How do they do that, Josh? Other than writing us an email, how do you write us an email?
Well, you write us an email by sending those into cast@kamenridersucks.com. And you can join in and join in the fun and send us an email there as well if you would like to do so. Toby, I thought you were reacting to my amazing segue there for a moment. I thought it was just like it took your breath away. I was like, it was really good, but I didn't think it was that good.
I was actually debating punching down the Discord one last time, but I decided to move past it.
Well,
I'll be the bigger person, and we'll move on.
Our email this week comes in from one of our Discord friends, Charlie from Texas, and Charlie has sent us in an email that I'm very excited about. He has sent in a game for us to play, Toby.
Hell yeah, let's go.
So,
is this going to be a rigged game? Is Charlie's game like name the Kamen Rider theme songs? And I'm just going to have to sit here while Josh does the noted, I know all of these, and buzzes in 2 seconds and shows off and acts like a jerk.
First of all, it's a game only for you because I'm reading the email, so it's a game that you're playing.
That's even better.
And two,
I can't lose if I'm playing against myself.
Charlie made this game specifically for you, so I think it is. It's correctly designed here.
Oh God.
And all right, so here we go. Email from Charlie here. Hey guys, I'm still researching for a big informational email I'll send in the next couple weeks. Very exciting. Thanks, Charlie. So in the meantime, I thought it would be fun to play a little game. Josh, I have listed below the plots of a few Kamen Rider seasons, along with a few made-up ones mixed in. I want you to read them to Toby and have him try and guess if the season is real or not. So I'm going to read you, I'm going to read it out of order from what Charlie has here, just to mix things up. And I'm going to read a plot synopsis that Charlie wrote. You're going to tell me if that is a real Kamen Rider season or if that is a fake one that Charlie has crafted.
So the benefit of this game already is much like Charlie's introduction to us months and months ago. If he crafts bad ones by himself, I'm going to have to judge those as well. So this is like Charlie's creative writing class final.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm gonna be Professor Tobes here, and if he gives me a bad whatever those things are called, he's gonna be in trouble.
a bad assignment? I don't know what
no,
you're going for there.
It's not synopsis. It's some fancy word for like when you write a movie script. A treatment. If he gives me bad treatments of these shows, he's gonna have to hear about
it. He's got a very all of these are done with a certain attitude about them, which will make sense here in a moment. So the first one here. So I will tell you, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these. Half are real and half are fake to give you a little bit of a leg up here. First one, a shut-in living in Tokyo is suddenly transported to another world and told he must use a legendary sword to become a Kamen Rider.
Are you going to give me all 6 at once, or are we doing back and forth? Like, are we just going to do like one at a time?
Let's do one at a time. Yeah.
Okay. So it has the rise from the ashes vibe that Kamen Rider shows. I feel like they have. They do usually have swords for things, but things it's not usually from the episodes or series I've seen. It's never tied to a weapon like that. It's usually tied to the dumb buckle. So I'm going to say that the sword is irrelevant, and that was to throw me off because it sounded like a cool sword. So I'm going to say this is made up by Charlie.
All right, I'm going to not tell you, and I'll tell you at the end, since you already know the distribution of real and fake. I will reveal at the end which ones you've gotten right. So
okay,
you're saying fake for that one. Okay,
I'm saying Charlie crafted number 1.
Okay, second one. A man injected with dinosaur DNA is turned into a cyborg and must defend the world from the evil organization Dark Nebula.
I'm torn because if he's going to be a dinosaur, that's not the grasshopper vibe of all the other Kamen Riders.
Okay.
But the absurdity of it does sound like something that Kamen Riders would do. Like Black Sun was some big insect slur-making bug, provided blue juice to keep people alive for years and years for no reason.
Did we not make a slurm joke that entire season that we watched, by the way?
I think we did up front. I think the first episode was at least made the Futurama joke. Because if not, that's a true wasted opportunity there. So I'm gonna say this is a real one. I'm gonna say weird dinosaur DNA is a real one.
Okay. So we got fake, real. Next up, a high school delinquent with a pompadour uses the powers of friendship to defend Earth from space creatures.
Feel like I remember this coming up as a joke in the Discord, of this being a real thing, or talking to Navigator or someone else about all these crazy things that the different plots are about. So I'm saying this one is real as well, only because the pompadour thing sticks out of my mind.
All right, sounds good. Next one, a king of an ancient kingdom awakens and must seal away the dark forces of evil by using keys to turn into a Kamen Rider.
If the Decade Kingdom Hearts one was not already a show, I would think this sounds like Kamen Rider Kingdom Hearts. So because Decade is already a show, I'm going to say this one is a fake one. But it also sounds like what Kieran does to me and makes everything about Kingdom Hearts like I always do. So I appreciate that as well.
It does. All right, so you're going fake on that one, though?
Yeah, so far it should be fake, real, fake.
Yep. And then next one, a detective and his psychic femboy assistant defend the city from the mafia.
Wait, so before I answer this one, tell me the last one. Because I don't want to have my last choice be forced by
That's fair. That's
the distribution here.
So the last one is, a failing comedian suddenly becomes president of what is essentially Apple and has to defend the world from evil ChatGPT.
Okay, so number 5 is real and number 6 is fake.
Okay.
And I'm only saying that because a synopsis of the show, I feel like wouldn't have comparative words like essentially. They would just say an evil AI or something like that. Well, so I'm going to blame the phrasing on this one. I think Charlie made it up.
Gotcha. So from the beginning here, the shut-in in Tokyo with the legendary sword, you said that one was fake. You are correct. That one is fake. So 1-0 so far. The next one, the dinosaur DNA turning into a cyborg, the evil organization Dark Nebula. You said that one was real. That one is also fake.
Damn, that was a good one, Charlie.
Yeah, pretty similar. It has a lot of the themes of Kamen Rider in it. The cyborg stuff, the evil organization, like Shocker-esque thing. There's a lot going on there that is very Kamen Rider, or very like Toku in general. So 1-1. Next one, you said the high school delinquent with a pompadour uses the powers of friendship to defend Earth from space creatures. You said that was real because of your recollection of a Discord conversation, which is true. That is Kamen Rider Forze.
I knew it because that was specifically one of the ones that came up, and I knew I remember the pompadour joke. So Charlie, that was ruined by other people. That one's not on you.
I'm impressed that you retained that though. Good job. Very, very nice.
Josh, my brain is filled with the most useless of shit. That definitely takes precedent over a lot of other things from work and other parts of life I probably could have remembered instead.
I'm happy. Yeah, let's push out all those loved ones' birthdays and fill them with Kamen Rider seasons.
Pompadour guy. I don't know. I know he's one of them though.
The next one was the ancient kingdom awakens. The king seals away dark forces using keys. That one was a fake one, as you suspected. Again, pretty similar to, like you said, like a kind of Decade-esque thing. Who used cards? Very similar to. There's a couple like Sentai Rider Key things that are similar to that. But
I just want to point out, it has nothing to do with the cards or anything else. It's literally just the Kingdom Hearts joke. And I was only blindly using that logic. And I knew there was already one Kingdom Hearts one, and there probably wasn't two.
Okay. So that puts you at like 3-1 there. So doing great so far.
At best, I can go 50-50. I know one of these next ones should be wrong because I already guessed one of the other ones wrong.
So the next one here was the one. So the detective and his psychic femboy assistant defend the city from the mafia. You said that was real. And that is correct. That is Kamen Rider Double.
Hey, I'll take 4 and 2 worst case.
Yeah, 4 and 2 is good. And the last one, the failing comedian becomes president of what is essentially Apple, has to defend the world from evil ChatGPT, is also real. That's Kamen Rider 01. And that is a very accurate description of Kamen Rider 01.
That seems ridiculous.
It is, yeah. That we might need to watch like just the first episode of that season at some point because of how unlikable that main character is at first. Because he does a comedy routine, like at the beginning, it's like the very first thing you see of him, and oh my god, I wanted to kill him by the end of that first episode. It's so bad. But
Is he as bad as early KOA or no?
He's worse because like at least early KOA like has some ideals about him. Like there's a reason he's acting like, such a wet blanket. And this guy is just like a terrible comedian who thinks his awful jokes are funny. And I feel like it takes a long time for him to like warm up to being like a hero type person a little bit. Like he eventually gets there and he gets the sort of like, I'm an anime protagonist vibe about him.
I'm a hero.
Yeah. But at first he is a, slapstick, like very shtick type comedian, and it is
ain't no one got time for that.
No, it is bad. Charlie, that was a very, very fun game. Thank you so much.
Charlie, you did a good job. Thank you very much.
That was only 3 actual seasons they're used. So we're gonna have to play this game again, I think, at some point. There's lots more Kamen Rider seasons that to write snappy synopses about and see if we can get them correct. Awesome. So yeah, again, that is our email section. And if you want to send us emails, you can do that and join in on all this fun. Send those over to cast@kamenridersucks.com.
Make games. Everyone loves a good game.
Games are great. I do like them. It would be fun to go over. I don't know if they're different enough, but to do like plot synopses of like the really early Kamen Rider seasons, like before kind of the Kuga reboot, and see if you and I could parse out what's real and what's not, because I don't really know much at all about that era. Like when we watched the reboot of Black, and like I knew nothing about original Black whatsoever. Like we've looked it up since then to figure out like kind of what they brought over, what they didn't, and stuff like that. But there's a lot of that early stuff that I have no idea about the details about.
So looking up Kamen Rider Season 2, just to see what the second season plot was, apparently there is a Black Sun-esque, unless you just said this, because I was trying to multitask. There's a Black Sun-esque reboot of Season 2 as well. Did you know that?
No.
Kamen Rider Amazons.
Oh, I did,
plural. Is a remake and a celebration of the 45th anniversary of Kamen Rider Amazon.
I didn't realize that Amazon was the second season.
Yeah, I was just curious, and now I know that they like doubling up on the shows every anniversary.
Like the Black Suns, Black Sun, Amazon.
Well, not even that, but like it's the 45th, 50th anniversary. So just remake the same show over again, but make it darker. Because this one again says is a darker and more mature reimagining of the original series, Kamen Rider Amazon. So they do the same, I'll call it general plot, it looks like, where they have the nice, happy, fun show, and they make it a gritty show with child murder and animals.
Yeah. Amazons, which I think there's 2 seasons of Amazons at this point now. That was kind of the not premise is not the word I'm looking for. It was the precursor to Black Suns for sure. Like that was their first attempt at like, yeah, we're gonna try this out and make it adult and see if people like it. And that was a big hit, which then led to the, I think, higher production value Black Suns. But yeah, people really liked Amazons too. Amazon, the original one, is I don't know, it's kind of weird. Like I feel like it's a little bit less of a now what we think of as a traditional Kamen Rider. Like I don't think the suit looks very Kamen Rider-esque. It looks just more bug-like because most of it is just like spandex kind of painted on.
Those are the good ones.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, wait. He looks like OG, like Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Yes.
Ugly 70s horror movie shtick.
Yes.
Kind of figures.
Yeah. So yeah, like I think some of the older Kamen Rider stuff still like looks cool in a retro way, and I don't think Amazon is one of those. I think he's one that has not aged exceedingly well.
So looking at the two costumes right now, they did a fantastic job of how they did it with Black and then Black Sun, with the same thing with Amazon and Amazons.
Yeah.
Where like the costume looks 20 times better and more up to date. So all I can picture is like if they had who was the main bad guy we used to always laugh at in Black Sun that had his face sticking out for no reason?
Oh, starts with a B. I can't think of it.
Bulgaria.
Yeah. Kamen Rider, Black Sun. I'm trying to have autocomplete.
It'll know.
Anyway,
Bilgenia.
Bilgenia.
So like OG Bilgenia to the new one was the same amount of stupid, just looked better. And this is almost the same thing where like his new costume looks like full armor and has all the coloring is exactly the same and everything else.
Yeah,
so it seems like they do a good job with the remakes of updating everything appropriately.
Yeah, I think exceptionally so. Like I don't know if it was exactly the same team or whatever, but yeah, like they have done a great job at that. Like the Amazon one is a great example of like you were saying, like they take the inspiration from the original. Like one of the visual aspects that make it Amazon that we have to carry through, and then they make it not look like crap. they made it hard metal and yeah, completely redesigned it from there to look a little bit more traditional, like a modern Kamen Rider, and make it look a little bit cooler. And yeah, same thing with Bilgenia. Like, okay, his face is open, that's a key piece. He, has some of these like claws and like horns and stuff sticking out. He's got the sword, but maybe he doesn't need to be pink. Maybe we can not do that.
Now he's black and spooky.
Exactly. So yeah, I'm excited about the next thing that they work on, that team works on, or that Amazon pays to have produced. I think that's like those are Amazon originals. I think I think that it's Amazon who is having a hand in that production to some extent. So
it's good use of money. Keep doing it.
Yeah, like please continue to take my Prime money and make like kick-ass bloody Kamen Rider shows. I'll have that. That's fine. But yeah, like I said, I don't know much about those really, really early shows, like the Amazons of the world. I don't really know much about what happens in those seasons. I know what the riders look like in most cases, but I don't really know. Like you could tell me anything happens in original Amazon, and I would believe you.
Charlie, get working on that.
But Toby, we are here to talk about modern Kamen Rider. Kamen Rider Geats, so to speak. Should we jump into talking about episode 44?
Let's do it.
All right. So episode 44, well, I guess the end of 43, we had a transformation. Neon's dad gained the power of a rider, and he became Kamen Rider Giago, I think is what his name was.
Yeah, it's definitely close to Neon's.
Yeah. And I'll say, I guess at the time, we liked the costume a lot. That's where we landed on. We really liked the costume. I personally, at least, was like a little bit like, maybe he hasn't quite earned the whole, like, I'm a good guy now, I'm going to defend my daughter. Like, that felt like it came out of nowhere. I will say, the opening scene of this episode, he completely won me over in that. Like, I went from like not really believing it to being like, oh my God, Dad, don't die. I was very on board.
I did the opposite of that. And
okay.
Overall, I feel like this is one of the worst / one of the best episodes, depending on which half of the episode we're watching.
Oh, fair enough. Okay. So was this the bad half?
So I guess we'll jump around. I don't know if I have to jump around now. All the redemption arcs in this episode, starting with Neon's dad, seems very unearned and stupid. And there a bunch of those kind of things happened throughout this episode, and they did it too much in a lot of ways that I know it's a short show. They all seem, it's that very cheap, unearned, hey, here's 20 seconds of me being a parent to you for the first time.
Yeah.
And now I'm the best. So his whole thing, her dad's whole thing was obviously she was like, "Dad, I'm not your." I guess it's her problem too. Her whole thing still is, "I'm not a real kid. I'm not your kid," with both parents. But her dad was like, "No, but you are my daughter." And then she got all like weepy eyed and sad, and then he did all the nice dad things, culminating with him taking the quote unquote kill shot during the fight.
Yeah, yeah,
All those things, it's just stupid and overplayed. Or I don't know. It just seemed it was all too quick. It was like he stepped up for 30 seconds last episode after Neon calling him a piece of shit the whole time. And then he had 30 seconds this episode where now all of a sudden he's the best dad ever.
Yeah, it's very melodrama for sure. Like it is it is that 100%. Like you said, like suddenly you're dad of the year when we've seen 30 seconds of you being a good dad. But like I guess to be fair, it was a good 30 seconds where he did put his life on the line for her. So there's that. But like they do the big drama of like she was like, but I'm not Akari. And he's like, no, I love you, Neon. I love you. Like it's the like there was something about his voice, like the effect they're doing on his voice when he's coming through the suit as he's like, Watashi wa. Like as he does his serial killer voice, like telling her that he loves her, was great. You're right. It is still very unearned, 100%. So like if you're not on board, if like the visual of it and the like idea of it doesn't win you over, like it did me, it is very unearned. But but I don't know. Maybe I was just in a different mindset this time around than last episode, but I was just like, yeah, get it. And he does take like an ass kicking here, by the way. Like Neon's just kind of like sitting on a box, and he is just taking, like you said, like kill shots, just like complete blasts to the chest. Like steps in front of Neon, he gets kind of obliterated.
And the payoff of all these things at the end is good, but the build up and all these things are bad.
Yeah. I guess the thing that I liked here, so when he became a Kamen Rider, last thing, and like he of course shows up, I'm like, I'm not gonna pay you the ransom, like I'll let my daughter go. I think in my head I was still thinking like, well, obviously like this is some play, right? Like he's pretending like it's like because he loves her, but like he's gonna try to use it to like bring his company back or something. Like I think I maybe was thinking in my head it was still a little self-serving, and then this was very selfless, that he was getting himself killed, and like you realize that he thought that he at least had changed. So maybe that won me over a little bit, but
which is completely fair.
Neon seems convinced though. She kind of like pulls herself free from her
funk.
Well, her funk, but like also physically her constraints where she was tied up, which the kidnapper didn't really tie her up very well. She had
to be able to break out, Josh.
Had to be able to, yeah.
The one good thing about the one funny part though. So when she was like, "Oh my God, Dad, you saved me. You love me," blah, blah, blah. He had like barely any face damage to be able to act in that scene. And then the next scene immediately after is them like whisking him to the hospital, and his face is just like soaked in blood. And none of that was there before the fight started, or when the fight ended. He did not look like that.
Not at all. No, he's just like, yeah, there's nothing. I got nothing. We also, so before we get to the hospital, the hospital scene was also kind of funny. But before we get to the hospital, real quick, we had a little scene where just randomly, seemingly for no reason, Geats is fighting Kekara, which I thought was also kind of hilarious. Like, do these guys just randomly tussle out on the streets for no reason?
Weren't they fighting last week, overlapping with? Like, I thought that was the culmination of the fight they started in 43 at the same time Neon's dad was doing her thing. That was that was the thing I could think of.
Okay, I might just be forgetting that happened. Okay.
I think they were just still fighting from last time.
It just really tickled me for some reason, the idea of just like, oh, you know, they're just fighting again. Sometimes they just go meet in the streets and they just fight. Like, it's just what we do in this world. It's just fun. But real quick about that fight, it's completely inconsequential. Like, nothing happens in it. But I love that Kekara fights like a frog. That's my first takeaway here. He does a lot of like crouches. He has a big tongue that he spits out. Love all that. They also did a thing where they both shot at each other and the bullets like graze as they go by, like the like laser bullets, which also was very fun. So kind of a cool little cool little fight scene there that didn't really matter. But then, yes, we get to actually we go to talk to Buffa next. That's kind of what happens next, right? Or am I mixing things up? I might be mixing things up.
No, like the hospital bloody face scene is like 10 seconds, and then is the Buffa talk. So like it's still right there. It just happened real fast.
I guess I didn't capture a picture of that one ahead of time. But the the hospital scene, again, it's like it's them sort of like, you know, being a family, like, oh my, you gave us our family love or whatever. But there still is a scene in the hospital where she's sitting at the hospital bed, and the dad, like, the first thing he opens with, like, the Kurama Zaibatsu is no more. Like, we don't care about your stupid company anymore, bro. It's gone. It's over.
And now he admits it.
Like, I thought we were already there like 3 episodes ago when he was like, no one at the company came to wish me happy birthday.
No one bailed me out of jail.
But now it's all gone. It's all over. Anyway, yes. Then we go to meet Buffa. Buffa's just kind of reporting about what he found out about the Tree of Knowledge to Geats. Basically, that there was potentially a way to save Sarah. Had
K-Wa, stupid jerk.
Exactly, not completely destroyed the world. So Buffa's a little peeved about that. And then we get our view of poor Sumi, Toby. Poor Sumi.
I said that I thought she's getting the good paychecks now, where she's literally just hanging out doing nothing and getting paid for it.
Yeah, but like it doesn't look comfortable. I don't know. She is hanging for sure.
Yeah. Is the actress is the same actress, right?
Yeah.
Because whenever they show her with like the bright blue eyes, it's throwing me off enough where she looks different enough. It was hard for me to tell, even though I assume it is, because even when she talks, it sounds like her. She just looks just different enough where it's hard.
I agree. Yeah, no, for sure. It's a little challenging, but her voice is definitely like identical. But yeah, they transform her looks pretty drastically, like the wig and the eyebrow stuff they're doing and the eye color changes. It's pretty shocking how much different that is actually working. But she continues to be sad, but we find out in the scene that the free will basically, or, you know, it's kind of insinuated in the scene, the free will that she continues to have is because she's kind of getting her power from Ace, from Geats, like the fact that he exists in the world. Yeah, exactly. They have a connection that is continuing to kind of like power her basically, which is kind of cool. I like that aspect of it.
The sibling bond is unstoppable, much like K-Wa and Sarah's.
Sarah, yeah, absolutely. I also like Sumi was a little like, you know, I know she has a little bit of her own free will still, but I liked how kind of defiant she was in this one with that free will. Like in this scene, she straight up says like, I wish for a world where everyone can be happy. Like she just quotes Geats to the game master.
She sounds almost brainwashed if she wasn't if she wasn't a protagonist, she would almost seem brainwashed and lost.
A little bit, yeah. But it's just a little bit like he's spitting in his face, which is cool. And then of course, freaking K-Wa. Let's talk about K-Wa in this episode.
He has wonderful platform boots on because he's little, but he has to look grumpy.
Boy, when he goes evil, he just gets a whole just ensemble, doesn't he? He puts on the little platform boots. He's got the like wide-legged like sassy pants that he puts on. He's got this whole number going. He didn't dress that cool beforehand. Who taught K-Wa how to be cool after his sister died? That's what I want to know. Like his sister dies, and then suddenly he's like, I got all these hair things I've always wanted to try. I got an earring. Look at all these.
She was holding him back.
She was like, no, you can't put the earring in. It's like, you don't even know me, sis. Just wait until you're dead. It's crazy how K-Wa doesn't know he's being completely manipulated. Or actually, I think he does.
It seems like he half does. He just doesn't know what to do about it.
Yeah, no, for sure. Because he keeps questioning it, right? He keeps going and saying, like, now you're sure when I defeat Geats that I'm gonna be able to get my family back. I'm gonna be able to get my sister back. And everybody keeps going, like, yeah, totally, dude. Wink. um, because like in this one, when we first see him here, he's like Neon was kidnapped. No one told me about that. And basically, like Kekara and Baroba are like, yeah, anything can happen in this world. It's fine.
It's wild.
Yeah.
It's the Wild West right now. We're good.
So then, of course, Buffa shows up to his little gang hideout to confront him about, basically the mess he's made of the world. And Buffa tells him, like, hey, we could have saved Sarah, but you screwed all this up.
Which
And
is the
again,
best part. But Buffa has once again returned a third or fourth corner, but he's like an all-star now. He has the perfect amount of like vitriol and stuff against KY all the time, and he's angry, but on the right side of angry now.
Yeah, I love where we're at with Buffa. He is the fully evolved character for sure at this point. I went through my whole righteous indignation phase where I want everyone to die for no reason, and then I wanted everyone to die for kind of the right reason, but I was still on the wrong side, and now I'm on the right side, and I specifically just want KY to die.
Let's do it.
I specifically want KY to have not screwed up the world, so people won't die. Great place for Buffa to be. I really like it. But of course, he shows up and he picks this fight with KY. He can't really beat KY, unfortunately.
He just doesn't care.
Yeah, he's like, I'm just going to show up and try to kick that guy's ass anyway. But in the middle of the fight, he kind of gets beaten, and he tells KY, like, don't tell me you didn't know about what happened to Neon. And like KY like has this like crappy excuse. He's like, well, my underlings did that. I didn't do that. I didn't really have anything to do with that. Like if you're to the point where you have to say my underlings did that on their own, I wasn't involved, you've gone down the wrong path, KY. Like maybe stop and reevaluate, dude. And then, speaking of Buffa being just the best character at this current iteration of Buffa, he screams up at KY, "I believe in Geats,"
which is the craziest line.
It is, yeah. The fact that he's screaming that line is so insane comparing where Buffa started. And also the fact that like he's screaming that line and it's 100% believable what this version of Buffa would say at this point is just chef's kiss. Not out of left field at all, which is great.
This is right around the point as well where I said my note was there's too many theatrics going on this episode.
Yeah, this whole episode is very, like I said, like melodrama focused. Like there's not a lot of like, there's really one thing that happens in this episode that is plot advancement, which we'll get to at the end. The rest of it is just like
it's soap opera. It's soap opera with people in funny suits.
It is 100%. And I think I was just
more so than the show usually is, because it's very soap opera sometime in general. It's just extra this time.
Yeah, it was all like, let's sort of revel in the fallout of what happened last episode, and then let's just sort of like wrap ourselves up in all the drama. like it's a warm blanket. Which is what's for sure is happening here. And again, as we mentioned earlier, KY goes and once again, I think he's feeling, like I said, I think he's feeling that doubt that Buffa just instilled in him of like, okay, maybe I'm not doing the right thing. Maybe this isn't correct. And he goes to Jito and says like, if I beat Geats, are we sure this is going to work? And again, Sumi's defiance here is great because she's like, KY, why do you look so sad if you feel like you're doing the right thing? What's going on here, bro?
That was a good burn. Or that was another attempt at eye-opening, which probably won't pay off, but it was an attempt.
I think you're right, though. I think he's having those doubts because as he's walking out and she's kind of telling him this, he's like, he says like something along the extent of like I don't care about any of this as long as I get my family back, right? Like he's really trying hard to tell himself that like the ends justify the means at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is cool. Like I think that is a place that like I think that's a place a Keiwa character can get to reasonably. That doesn't feel that that far of a stretch, because like obviously Keiwa is like going from peace loving, I won't fight a bad guy, to I'm the ultimate bad guy is a long walk. But I think that's like a path that I like them walking down to have gotten him here, and I like them showing us the doubt that he has too. That's good.
He's still a fantastic dramatic actor. He's just all over the place.
Yeah, very much. And then of course, yeah, we get some more hospital scenes here with Neon and her dad. Specifically her mom runs in and she gets to do the little hug with her mom, and the mom gets to have...
look, oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Bullshit redemption arc number 2. Mm-hmm. This episode's been full of them. Keep going.
the mom gets to have her moment, just like the dad did, of like, no, we've loved you. My heart tore apart when you were kidnapped, and then you didn't like me for 11 years. Cool.
Yeah.
But
the mom that was the first sub 40 episodes.
Yeah.
That seemed insane, slapped her in the face, everything else. Yeah, she really earned this scene out of nowhere that she hasn't been for the past 15 episodes of, no, Neon, you're my daughter, I promise.
Really the only like redemption that she's seen, like at least the dad sacrificed his life, right? Like at least he went and did something. The mom, she had a little bit of a sadness when the dad was like, there's ransom again, and she was like, oh my god, we didn't love our daughter enough, and then like, that's all she's done. Nonetheless, they're in the hospital. The dad hands over his ID core to Neon, in a very like finish the fight type mode. And so at this point, Toby, a lot of the show, I like the outcome here. The reasons that the things happen are a little wishy-washy, I feel like.
They're very wishy-washy, but yes.
And more so than is normal in the show. I feel like a lot of times the show does the things that it wants to do and then kind of comes up with a reason afterwards. But this feels like especially that. So
right now, counting the credits, the opening credits, we are about, at this point in this conversation, 17 of 23 minutes into the episode.
Uh-huh.
And these first 17 minutes were the worst episode ever.
Yeah, I mean,
now we hit the post 6. Now it picks back up, and I enjoyed it.
You didn't enjoy the Buffa Keiwa fight? I thought that was genuinely good. I thought
it was
that
alright.
was all great.
It was that's no, because that was all the theatrics. It was fine, but it was a lot up front for me.
It was very soap opera, like you said. But yeah, now we're getting into the actual meat of the stuff. Now we're getting into the actual like plot advancement. Things are happening here. So Baroba shows up once again. Baroba has a real boner for killing Neon's dad at this point.
/ just making Neon as miserable as possible.
So she shows up at the hospital, declaring that she will kill Neon's dad, and she's gonna love doing it. Neon shows up to confront her, and again she's a little bit like Baroba's a little bit like, oh, this is gonna be great. Like, this girl can't transform. What's she gonna do? So Neon slots the little ID core in her buckle, and she declares basically that she's going to be wishing to be a Kamen Rider.
She is a Kamen Rider, so she's gonna pray for this one final wish here. Hopefully it works out.
Yep, fingers crossed. So turns out it does. She becomes a Kamen Rider. Yeah, I don't know. She, like, the ID core transforms into a Nago ID core, and she transforms. And she's got the I guess it's called the fantasy buckle. I'm not really sure. It says fantasy when you actually use it, but it's the same buckle that her dad had been using. So
she's Final Fantasy Neon, exactly,
yeah. So she becomes a Nago that is kind of gold and blue and white all over, kind of like her dad. It's a very cool look. Like
she's premium. Like there's premium Baroba and premium everyone else. She's a premium Nago now. Basically.
Yeah. She got her kind of ultimate final form. So now I think we've got like we've got everybody, right? Like everybody is in there like upgrade. Well, I guess we haven't done Buffa, have we?
Well, but he had his upgrade when he became half zombie, half
Yeah,
Giamoto, half
I guess if we're
whatever.
counting that, he's yeah. But yeah, so we've got like premium upgraded. Only takes one half dead dad to redeem Nago here.
So wait, so before we get too far past it, even though there's not much left, the best part of Neon's speech before she becomes a Kamen Rider again is she said, "I had my wish fulfilled. I finally have love." So that made me extra excited because now she doesn't need to date that shithead boyfriend guy.
Yep. Yeah.
She got real familial love and not external love, which is great because that also handles one of the last wishes where everyone can't have their wish, obviously, for the final ending here. So hers is out of the way now. Like she actually got her dream.
Yep. Yeah. This is essentially the culmination of her storyline. This is she gets her wish. Her wish for true love wasn't a boyfriend that she was looking for the whole time. It was love of her family, and she gets it. Um, I was thinking about that as I was watching the show, that like really a giant theme of this show in general is family, and like the love of your family. Where Neon was looking for love, turns out she was just looking for her family's love and approval this whole time. We had that other Kamen Rider who was the runner, whose her whole thing was family. That was the whole thing that she bonded with Neon over. Ace, of course, had been looking for his mom. His whole thing was like, repairing his family. And then he has the whole aspect of like found family with with Kawa and with Neon, and especially with Sumi as his sister now, and Buff is this weird brother character. Like it all sort of revolves around family. What I'm saying is this is a Fast and the Furious movie too. But yes, I think that you're totally right. I think you hit the nail on the head there, in that we will not be seeing Neon win and have an official wish granted, because I think this was her wish, and I don't think we'll be seeing future boyfriend back anymore.
Good.
I'm happy to be done with him, because she didn't need him.
That's two problems down at once.
Exactly. Now, I will say we got this fight with Baroba. I really like the costume, the new Neon costume. I think it looks very cool. I like the Baroba costume. The fight here, boy, there was a lot of like CG backgrounds, like green screen backgrounds. It looked very fake and very weird to me. It wasn't as cool looking as the average Kamen Rider fight because of that.
So yeah, I thought it was actually a little bit better, and I appreciate Neon's ghost swords that surround her all the time now. Those are straight out of, again, to go back to a super old reference, Devil May Cry. Virgil, Dante's brother, has ghost swords exactly like that. Yeah. And I think it works better because Neon's crazy new ability of like phasing in and out of reality that they do a couple times, but like they do good usages of it. So it all seems like it's all cool to me with her new sweet getup. And especially because she acts extra like a cat now too, especially in the beginning of the fight.
Yeah, she starts the fight by like crouching down, like ready to pounce.
Yeah. So I appreciate that.
I totally forgotten about the phasing ability that she basically gets here, which is awesome. Like I think at some point like goes through Baroba, or like she goes through something that's like coming at her. Like
she goes through a bullet. She goes through Baroba, and then at one point, Baroba tries to like punch her through an open railing. So she phases through the railings and then grabs Baroba's arm through the railings, and like I guess it's a defensive move, but like it's all great usage of the new tech.
Yeah, that stuff was really cool. But yeah, my only downside was that it was very cool stuff, but then like they were shooting it in such a way that like it just felt weird in movement a little bit. But to take nothing away, I think I agree that the phasing stuff was very cool. The swords were very cool. I loved all aspects of that. I'm excited to have Neon back in costume. Excited to have her fighting more. because I had been missing her as like one of my favorite characters in the show. Been missing her actually like participating in the show. So she is obviously doing awesome, beating up Baroba. Baroba attempts to kind of like scamper away down an alley, and she runs into Buffa. Buffa basically there just to antagonize her and says like, "Am I the only one who can't see that you're the unhappiest of all?"
Well, you forget she got Ryder kicked and put a giant gash in the side of her face. They ruined
Yes.
Precious Baroba's face. So she basically like got effectively Kamen Rider killed, as they do, and then she ducked down the alley, and then you can finish your Buffa story.
Yeah, it's pretty much that. Like that. So she looks after Buffa kind of taunts her. She looks in the mirror and like the mirror is cracked, but she like sees her face. So I wasn't clear. Did the like she looks kind of like a monster when she looks in the mirror after she talks to Buffa. Is that from where she got kicked in the face, or is that like her making it worse in her brain? You know what I mean?
I think it's her making it worse in her brain, because if you watch the mirror scene before she freaks out on the mirror more, her face starts morphing into like a zombie undead Giamoto look.
Yeah,
But I
that's
think
fine.
I feel like it's more the visual. She's losing her sanity because people are figuring out who she is,
Okay.
more so than, I mean, she might be a demon. She might really be a demon all along. But it just seems like it's more the she's seeing her inside on the outside,
Okay.
I guess is the best way to put it. So they just dramatically monstered her up a little.
Okay, that was my read on it as well, and my take, and my recollection. So that I think that lines up for sure. But yeah, she gets wrecked pretty hard, and Buffa gets to twist the knife a little bit, which I which I liked too, because she obviously spent a long time kind of ruining Buffa's life and and making him do things that he maybe regrets doing. So I think he deserves to poke her while she was down a little bit there.
His smug smirk when he says like, when after she freaks out and he just smirks and like walks away is so good. It's like he needed no words because he did his part and he was like, I won.
Yep. He walks out with the upper hand. And then of course, Neon is a rider again, so she heads back to the lounge to meet up with Ace, and he's
It
so
just
happy
feels
to
right.
have her back.
It just
Yeah,
feels right.
it really does. She's giving this like introduction when we first see her, where she's like, "So anyway, then I got the rider power from my dad. I'll be filling in for him." Then she has a line that's just like, "Use me however you need" or whatever. She's like, "I'm here to serve." And yeah, it's very sweet. He's like, I'm happy you got your rider powers back. Blah blah blah. And then
Once,
she kind of confronts him like, "But it was you that gave me the power to fight, right?"
well, yeah, because as we know, whoever's wishes, the strongest wish at the time is the one that gets the powers. So her wish fulfillment, I guess, was strong enough where it worked.
Yeah, and this is where the wishy-washy comes into play a little bit for me, because like I guess they set that up a little bit with the power of the wishes and all that stuff, and we know that Geats can grant wishes because he has creation power, but he basically says like, "Oh, it wasn't just me that did it, but your family's wish gave me the power to be able to give you the Kamen Rider power." I was like, all right. I mean, I guess I'm happy she's back, but like, okay, it's a little bit like the power is anything we need it to be at the time.
Yeah, classic TV show.
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with it because she's back. Everyone's happy. I'm happy about it too. But the two of them. So again, I'm very glad that Neon ended up finding family love as her answer. I'm glad that she wasn't defined by
Boyfriend.
by a boyfriend. But boy, do I ship her and Ace pretty hard.
There we
I think
go.
the
They can
two
have
of
that
them.
separate. They can have that separate.
Exactly. Yeah, she doesn't need to be defined by it, but talk about power couple. You know what I'm saying?
And then the best was, like the final shot was, KOL learning that Neon's actually back, and he is outraged by this, but he has a better serial killer face than Neon's dad does at this point. Like
Absolutely.
his angry, angsty, angry, terrified, whatever face is as good as Neon's dad, if not better, especially in these scenes at the end.
And the scene at the end here, because he finds out she's back. Basically, Kekaros is like, well, hey, if Geats keeps like growing in power, if his force keeps growing in power, there's gonna be a problem for us. And Kay was like, I will defeat Geats, and just like layers off. This really cemented for me that Kawa, even if he isn't like the big bad guy at the very end, he's gonna be the threat right up until like that moment. Like he
Yeah,
is
probably.
he's the thing that they're gonna be fighting against, and maybe he has a redemption at the very end, but I don't think that we're gonna get that like next episode or anything. I think Kawa is our dude, and yeah, I think he'll continue to be tormented about what he's doing, but yeah, I don't think he's coming around anytime soon. They even like finish it off with like this really cool split scene between him and Ace. So like they put them both on screen at the same time. Very cool. like good versus evil kind of a thing going on. But yeah, he is he's ready to go kill Ace. Just completely ready to go end this. Which I would not have guessed from the beginning of the show.
No, I never saw him being the evil, possibly final ending boss guy.
But again, like you said, like his serial killer face, his evil face is like spot on. Like can't say enough good things about Kawa, like the
actor man.
Yeah, because he is like the range that this dude has is pretty impressive. Like he fell into this evil stuff like so quickly, and he's so good at it. I'm actually pretty impressed. But nonetheless, that is yes the end of our show. So you liked Nago being back. You liked the whole transition.
That was the redeeming part. She got her wish, and it wasn't from winning the dumb game. It was just from being in life.
Yeah, exactly. Happy to have her there. Excited to have the whole crew together now. Not Kawa, of course, but like they're all in play again. 3 out of 4 of them are working together,
just as it was meant to be.
Exactly. Now Buffa's the one who's like on the side. I'm really excited for the cute scene we're probably gonna get between Neon and Buffa when they see each other. I'm sure it's gonna be like a can't believe you crushed my ID cord, jerk. Should be fun. All right. So yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for us here for episode 44. Toby, where can the people find you on the internet?
On I guess it's called X now. On X, you can find me at Life of Tobes, and on YouTube, it's at Tobes Plays.
Yeah, if you're listening to this in the far-flung future, or next week, because news happens so fast. Apparently, Twitter is changing its name to X. It seems now today, which is very fun. Yeah, you could find me mostly on not on X, I guess, but like technically I'm still there at Pretty Decent Josh. Also on Threads at Pretty Decent Josh as well. And yeah, of course, subscribe to Pretty Decent, the YouTube channel here, where you can watch the video version of this show. So we will be back next week for episode 45. Of course, send us emails to cast@KamenRiderSucks.com. Check out the Patreon, again, linked in the description below. If you want even more of this nonsense, if you want to join in on the watch-alongs, if you want to join in on the Discord, very reasonable, $3 a month, and you get tons and tons of bonus content, sometimes multiple times a week. So check all that stuff out and join up if you are interested. And yeah, that's going to do it for us. We'll be back next time. And until then, have a great week, everybody. Peace.
I'm taking shots at the enemy. I'm gonna make it to the top, leave a legacy. If I got something to say, you better let me speak. Turn it up a new degree, bitch, you ain't seen anything. I pop off with the new